can feel I'm changing. I don't know if I'll ever go back. All the ways that you make me, fill me up on the things I lack. Turn out, turn out. 'Cause I think I'll make it here. You and only you. I don't know where the time goes. It flies when I hold you close. In my arms with your eyes closed. Right by the time I've got home. I don't ever wanna lose you now. I think I'll make it home now. I don't ever wanna lose you now. I think I'll make it home now. Since it's you and only. Because it's you and only you. From the start, from the start, from the start. Did you hear them sirens playing? Hear them sirens playing from the start, from the start. hoping that I could keep us both away. Every siren's playing from the start. Hearing sirens playing from the start, from the start, from the start, from the start. Hey, hey. Did you hear them sirens playing? Hear them sirens playing from the start, from the start. Oh, once I felt you natural boy. Spice on spice on spice on. Spice on spice on spice on. But that touch wants you to watch me now. Oh, once I felt you natural boy. Spice on spice on spice on. Spice on spice on spice on. You say it once to me. Stay a moment. All my walls are falling, and my heart is beating loud until I hit the ground. Will you stay around until I hit the ground? Will you stay around? Find me in my closet. Can't escape the feeling. We're gonna spiral down. If you hold me, maybe we can go all in, baby. I'll be yours and you'll be mine. Give me high till I hit the ground.
Okay, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Valhallan Campo live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a Monday night, so you should all know what that means by now. That we have some Fortnite builds, duos for you guys, and we are very excited for this 3 teams that we're gonna watch. I think this is one of our most entertaining, fun streams that we're gonna have in a little while. We have 3 completely stacked teams. And let me introduce them to you very quickly. Our primary team, our number 1 team, the team that we'll be watching the most, the Chefs. That team is composed of Jack, aka Chef Jack, and Zarek, aka Z Fight. Our second team, our secondary team, the team that we're going to be watching the middle amount of, is Corrupt Capybaras. That team is composed of Gavin, aka Novel Movie, and Cohen, aka Split Potato. And finally, most certainly not least, though, we have Team Guff. And that team is composed of Lachlan, aka Shammy, and Logan, aka LMC Channel. We have two Division 1 teams tonight and one Division 3, and I anticipate that we are going to see an action-packed round of Fortnite tonight. And seems like our Division 1 drop is a little behind, so whichever drop starts first, we'll obviously tune into them and watch them until all of our drops have gone underway here, and then we'll rotate through our normal rotations. But with that being said, and I hope you guys are ready. I'm ready. There's nothing better I love than watching some Fortnite. And honestly, there's a big topic in the room. There's a strong topic in the air that I just feel like needs to be addressed. Last week, we saw is not the kind of Fortnite standard that our players have developed for themselves. It's just the truth. Whether we want to believe it or not, it's just the truth. We saw a lot of lackluster performances and a lot of underwhelming performances, and I think it was a lot of pressure because of the new season and obviously all the changes and all of that kind of stuff. So obviously there's a lot of things that happened, a lot of things that went on, but if there's one thing that I know, especially here at Valhallan Camp Hill, our kids are very capable of, our students, that is adaptability. They are going to adapt. They're going to make the changes they need to. They're going to do whatever they need to do to make sure that 1 week, the past week, was just a fluke, that they're locked in and they're ready to go for this week. And that is what I anticipate will happen again. And it seems like here we're just a minute or two off of Division 3's drop, a couple more minutes off of Division 1's drop. So assuming one or the other drops first, obviously we will watch them until they are all dropped. But we are ready to go. Just a few more seconds, if not another minute or two, until we get to kick things off with some high quality Fortnite. I hope you guys are ready. I'm ready. And as soon as I see that any of these teams have dropped, obviously we will switch on over for you and we will watch the Fortnite Battle Royale action take place. And still nothing yet, which is totally okay. Obviously, no concern. And I know I really want to highlight both of our Division 1 teams. I know those teams are not satisfied with how they did last week. Obviously, we watched the chefs last week. We interviewed both of them. We know that they're not satisfied with how they did. Team Guff is another team that's kind of struggled a little bit this season. They're still trying to figure some things out, still trying to work through some things, trying to get on the same page. But I'm hoping that this is the week that they're able to figure it out. They're getting ready to go. And this is the final week of the regular season. This is final week of regulation. This is where it all comes to an end. So realistically, what you'd love to see here is some really good performances from these teams, and then we can get into playoffs and obviously have some more Fortnite to watch in the next couple of weeks before we take a little hiatus in between seasons. But ladies and gentlemen, our Division 3 team of Corrupt Capybaras is dropping, so let's tune in on to them and see how they're doing. Actually, never mind. Seems to have some technical difficulties, so just bear with us real quick. All right, sorry about that. Again, just a couple technical issues going on here, but I think we're going to get it figured out. And yes, we do. So now I will say again, let's get started with some Division 3 Fortnite. And because of technical difficulties, we're only able to get Cohen's screen up to start, but that's okay. We'll get Gavin's screen up. Oh, there, actually, he figured it out. He got it up for us, so we'll be able to bounce back and forth between players here until Division 1 drops. As we see here, it looks like Capybaras is going to land maybe at a gas station, some kind of building here, a little off of a named POI. So going to try and secure some good loot, going to try and get a couple chests here, and then might rotate into that POI. It'll be very interesting to see what they decide to do. Yes, it is a gas station. So we will have to keep an eye on. And it seems like Cohen actually finding a good amount of loot here. Has some decent weapons. Has a blue AR and a blue machine SMG. So Cohen's loadout being very solid so far. Having the shockwaves as well. I actually, a little sneak peek, I got to see him use those a little bit in the warm-ups today, and he used them very well. So maybe we're going to see similar Cohen, someone that's going to push, someone that's going to make challenges. It will all depend on what we actually get to watch tonight. But Cohen's loadout is looking very good. Finds a green tack. So far, the tack shotgun is, from what I've heard, what from Coach Kyle said, from what we've talked about, one of the best shotguns, if not the best shotgun in the season right now. So I would anticipate we're going to see a lot of tack shotguns, assuming players can find them. As we see some chug splashes there, but players get up to about 80, 90 shield, so just about at 200 here. And these guys are now going to start to farm some materials, going to try and find some of that metal, going to try and find some of that brick. Metal and brick being, well, especially metal being a little bit harder to find this season, but something you really have to focus on, trying to get every piece you can. Brick, not as hard, and obviously wood is always the easiest to find, so I would anticipate here that we're going to try and see some material management from these guys as they continue to move into this new circle. And we see Cohen here really getting a lot of materials here. Let's take a little peek on over to his teammate Gavin's screen and see what he's cooking up. We see Gavin's loadout not nearly as good as Cohen's, maybe not as optimized, but still in a very good position here. Gavin not really having much materials either. These guys really have to start focusing on gathering some materials here. But it doesn't seem like either of them have decided to do that yet. Actually, maybe Cohen has a bit. We continuously see him break some things, and now it looks like Gavin is going to make that decision as well to also start to farm some materials. And maybe Gavin getting a little lucky there, the chest forcing him to get some wood. He is already at 200. I would like to see him get closer to 500. Wow, we are seeing, you guys can't see, but we are seeing Cohen just absolutely farm that fence to get a bunch of metal. Tries to get himself up to max. We anticipate he's probably close. And it looks like Division 1 is just starting their drop, so we'll give it another minute here, and then we will switch on over as we see these guys just continue to farm try to get as many materials as they can. Absolutely picking this outbuilding apart. Really just trying to make sure they're in a good position material-wise. And we see Gavin have about 300 wood and about 100 of the other two, so he's sitting in a pretty okay place. Obviously, you want to try to be as max as possible, but still very early on in this game. I haven't seen a lot of metal yet this drop, so. But we're going to switch on over to Team Guff, actually, and see how they're doing. All right, currently watching Lachlan's perspective again here. This is Lachlan and Logan. Lachlan being Shammy and Logan being LMC Channel. And dropped here at a named POI. I know that this was something that they were talking about potentially doing. And it seems like they did make the team decision to try it out here, so let's see how aggressive this team of Guff is going to be here. I know from talking to Lachlan a little bit, it seems like they've been struggling with their fights. Seems like it's been struggling with, especially with closing their fights. Like, they take really good engagements and they know how to engage. They just get a little stuck in them. And we do see some footsteps and some shots fired on the visual audio indicator. So we could have an engagement here pretty quickly, as it looks like they're going to try and use this window as some natural line of sight use here. Lachlan's going to go down another level, try and find a little bit more loot. These guys have to be aware. It looks like they could be on ground level here, so that other team could be anywhere at this point. Do check the stairs. No one under there. Oh, a big SMG there. It looks like Logan's going to pick that up. And we do see the shots on the visual audio indicator. Lachlan's going to build up a little bit, see if he can't find a third party here. See some shots get fired here kind of off in the distance. Takes a bullet of damage himself here. Not really in a bad position as he can just get right back up pretty quickly here. Already back to 200. Lachlan goes. They're going to have to choose whether they want to take this engagement or not. Because it seems like for now they're going to decide not to. They're going to continue to farm up a little bit. Maybe just wanting to get some more materials before they actually engage here. That other team really not far off. They're going to have to keep their eyes peeled in that northeast direction. But it looks like here, maybe the other team has backed off. And now Logan and Lachlan are just going to pick this POI dry. And while they farm up, let's switch over to the chefs and see what they're cooking. Well, it looks like the chefs might have already been eliminated from this drop number 1. So we're going to go right back to the Capybaras and see how they're holding out this drop so far. And we tune in, and it looks like Cohen has actually already been eliminated here. Looks like his reboot card has been secured by Gavin, though Gavin's in a stressful situation here. Has a player on him. He does decide to find an edit. Actually, not a player. Not a player. Just an NPC. That Logan is going to kill off to try and get this reboot through. I don't know if the chefs died early or if they missed their drop or what happened, but very unlucky, as I kind of see in the background, it looks like Team Guff could be in it a little bit. So I know we just switched to Corrupt Capybaras, but let's switch over to Team Guff and see how they're holding up. So it looks like maybe we just missed an engagement here. No kills for the squad yet, so maybe they just decided to get out and heal up. And again, I don't know exactly what happened to the chefs, but no matter what happened, they are not going to be satisfied with that drop. Those guys are definitely going to have to lock in for this drop number 2 if they want to make something happen. This is a team that really started off so hot. The chefs really had a good, really solid first couple weeks of the season here, and then something just almost flipped in them. I don't know if maybe they're not enjoying the game as much, or they're not playing as much, or what's been going on, but just not where you would expect them to be at this point. And they definitely have some things to work on. Definitely need to make sure that they're on the same page, because that is a team that still is very much in the contention for playoffs. Cannot afford to be giving up bad drops here. So we would anticipate that they're going to do whatever they need to do to lock in for the next drop. But Team Guff about to take an engagement here as we see Lachlan drop down. And we see Logan follow in suit. Both of them just hovering. Gonna try and find the right moment to third party here. Logan has a shot. Doesn't take it a little bit late. And they don't find any damage there. Now they go back up. And there's no way that other team got out, so Team Guff gonna have to be aware of how they're playing this job. How they're playing this engagement, I guess what I should say. I do see some shots, but no one producing those shots. And actually, we see someone jumping off in the distance. I don't know if Logan saw him. Lachlan definitely did, though. Logan gonna try and get in the building. Lachlan pretty much right above him. And Lachlan's in the engagement here, as Logan is gonna join him now. And Lachlan has to be careful if someone's behind him as well. And Team Guff is finding themselves in a little bit of a sticky situation here. They're gonna try and have to find a kill quickly here. And Lachlan takes a lot of damage. He's going to have to heal up. Although footsteps on the visual audio indicator, they see someone right above them through the cracks in their build. Lachlan going to try and find an edit here. Tries to go for the spleef, doesn't get it off. Going to buy some time here. Going to get himself back up to 100 health and 50 shield. Maybe not the most ideal situation, but actually Logan going to drop him a big, so that's going to get Lachlan back up to 200. Logan, I believe, at probably 190 if I had to guess, so definitely in a much better situation than they were seconds ago. And while these guys try to figure out what they're going to do, let's switch back to Corrupt Capybaras and see how they're doing. As we go to Cohen's perspective here, and wow, what a huge drop from these guys. 9 kills as a duo. Only 9 people left, 7 not counting Corrupt Capybaras. We're going to watch these guys for a little bit and see if maybe they can clutch out a victory royale here. As they get a lot of intel, they see the build, they see the shots getting fired. These guys can maybe just find a third party here. Don't need to put themselves in a bad situation. That storm is right on their backs, but actually they put themselves in a pretty decent position here to be able to move into that next circle. And gonna go pretty early and rotate, take control of that spacing. And we see here very good loadout as we see Cohen with the Mr. Blasty. I would suspect that we're going to see him use that. Oh, and they find some players here. And unfortunately, they have to go. Storms at their backs. Find a couple shots. Couple shots get exchanged. No real damage through yet, though. Although Cohen gets knocked, unfortunately. A huge bit of damage comes through on him. And now Gavin has to do it pretty much alone as the storm is going to swallow Cohen up. Still a lot going on. Gavin tries to find a couple shots through the storm, and he does. Finds a big 66. Has to be aware, though, as some footsteps are near him. Tries to find a shotgun shot. He finds two. He finds three. He finds a knock. Can he find the other? He hits 92. He finds the duo Elim all by himself. 4 players left, 3 not counting Gavin. 12 kills as a duo they have right now. And Gavin needs to find some time to heal, but doesn't really have much as a team is battling with him for that high ground. Gavin needs to do his best to relax here and try to find the time necessary. Unfortunately, with the heals that he's carrying, this is all the more health that he can get at this point. He's going to try and take that low ground and actually sees a big, but leaves it behind, but finds a shotgun shot. Is it enough? Can he get the kill? And he does. But I don't think he's going to be able to make it out of the storm. Oh, so unlucky for Corrupt Capybaras as they end a 3rd place finish with, I believe, 13 kills as a duo. Massive drop from them, and they are going to reap those points. But actually, no. I was about to say, let's tune back in to Team Guff and see how they're doing, but seems like they just got eliminated as well. So, a little unfortunate that we didn't get to see Guff's fight, the one that eliminated them, but Guff, obviously we didn't see what placement they got or anything, but seemed to have it much better control. Lasted quite a bit longer than they have some of their other drops, especially outlasting the chefs. Obviously, we don't know what happened to the chefs, but that's huge for them. And those guys, even if it's a little bit of progress, have to be pretty happy with how that drop went. That team has struggled through and through, and now being able to battle back a little bit is definitely what you want to see from Team Guff. But you pretty much just have to shout out how all of our teams did. Again, unfortunately, we don't really know how the chefs did. We don't really know what the situation was going on with them. But a huge 3rd place with 13 kills. Wow. Wow. What a drop there from the Corrupt Capybaras. Gavin putting himself and getting stuck in a high pressure situation and still able to find an additional 3 kills. One of them being a duo wipe by himself. What a performance that was from Gavin, and what an overall drop that was from them. And something that we talked about, something that I brought up a little earlier on, is that Guff was going to try and switch to this more aggressive play style. They were going to try and drop a little earlier, find some more kills earlier, and it seems like it worked out for them a little bit. So maybe that's going to have to be the strategy that Team Guff is going to have to stick to. And obviously, Corrupt Capybaras, one of our most consistent teams at this point. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. as these guys continuously find a top 10, if not a top 5 finish. Huge shout out for those guys as they just continue to perform well. And again, I hate to keep bringing it up, but we have to wonder what happened to the chefs. Hopefully, those guys just had a little hiccup, maybe a little miscommunication or something, and they're able to clean it up and lock back in for drop number 2. And let me very quickly see if I can get an update on drop number 2. Doesn't look like we have any updates for drop number 2. Actually, we do have one for Division 3. But is going to be a little bit at this point. And just the update that Guff ended 19th place, so definitely not bad by any means, but definitely not the expectation of what they wanted, where they want to be. But I think the interesting thing about Guff is that the past couple weeks, they've just not done very well. They've continuously struggled to even break into the top 20. You know, we've seen a lot of 30 finishes. We've seen a lot of 20s finishes. So them being able to break into those teens, even if they're the late teens, still improvement for those guys. And obviously, whatever tactic they switch to, this more aggressive play style, you know, their drop spot, I don't know everything that went in, but obviously worked out, secured them a 19th. And I would anticipate that that's a similar game strategy that we're going to see in drop number 2. We have quite a few minutes here until at least our Division 3 drop number 2 here. Quite a few minutes, but continue to fill a little bit of time and see how long it is until we can get something going on here. But just huge performances. I really can't highlight enough. I really can't talk enough about just how well the Capybaras is. What a performance there from Gavin, as he did an amazing job. As those guys, and realistically, Coach Kyle is going to be so satisfied, so proud of that drop 1 from the corrupt Capybaras. Again, even something that Coach Kyle has talked about this season is the map is smaller, there's a lot more action, things are a lot more grouped up, so you're probably going to have to take some more engagements early on, take some engagements that maybe you don't want to do. And Corrupt Capybaras showing that even though maybe it's not their play style, even though maybe it's not the way that they would like to play, does not matter, because they're going to adapt and they're going to find the kills that they need to put them in the best place possible. A huge 3rd place with 13 again. Can't say it enough for the Corrupt Capybaras. Huge job for all of them. And we have about quite a few minutes here, about another 5 minutes, so we're gonna step away for a minute or two. We're gonna run. I promise I'll be back real soon. This is your time. Go grab some grub, get a little drink, relax, do whatever it is you need to do. Run to the bathroom, which is what I'm gonna do. Do whatever it is that you need to do, and we will be back very soon. So stay tuned for some more Fortnite action. Welcome back, everybody, to some Fortnite duo builds. I apologize very quickly for the brief intermission. Obviously, you guys know how it goes. We don't control anything. We don't control the drops or anything like that. We just control the stream that we have and what we get to watch. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. And thank you guys for getting some grub, doing whatever it is that you need to do. But we should have some Fortnite action for you in just another minute. And I would anticipate we're going to see some better drops tonight. We got the update. I didn't get an update on the chefs, unfortunately, so we don't know exactly where they finished their drop. I know that I don't think it went. I think they went pretty early. Obviously, the first time we tried to switch to them, they were already eliminated, so we have to assume that they went pretty early. We don't really know what happened on them, so can't really give too much of an update on the chefs. We hope that maybe it was just a miscommunication thing, maybe just maybe a little bug or something. Those guys are locked in, we're ready to go for drop number 2. Obviously, we love to watch the chefs, and they're a team that, of course, we want to do well. So hopefully, we will get to see them do well in this drop number 2. Capybaras is a team that we watched do well. They ended 3rd with, I believe, 13th, 14th kills, somewhere around there. They did a phenomenal job. Huge shout out to those guys. And finally, we see Team Guff, which sorted out a little bit there, that first drop. We've seen them struggle a little bit in these past couple weeks as they were able to finish 19th. So maybe this is the week, maybe the final week of the regular season is putting some pressure on to the Valhallan players as we are seeing some make it and some break. But, ladies and gentlemen, Division 3 Drop 2 is now live, so let's tune in. As we see here, currently watching Gavin's perspective as through the Simpsons banner they go. And Fortnite, we are live. It looks like Capybaras might go to maybe the same, if not very similar drop spot as we saw last time. Gonna go to a gas station here. I do believe it is the same, actually. And of course, as soon as Division 1 actually drops, we will switch on over to them. But for now, as Division 3 has dropped and Division 1 has not, we will continue to watch Division 3 until they are ready to go. As we see Gavin hitting a little dancey dance, I think he knows he's on the screen. Had to give a shout out to the people at home who's watching. And Gavin here finding a lot of loot in this little office building. I can confirm that this is the same place they went to last time, so finding quite a bit of loot. Don't have any idea of Cohen's loadout quite yet. Can't exactly see. It looks like maybe he has one weapon. So, Cohen maybe not being in an ideal situation. As a purple thunder shotgun is massive. From what we've heard, the TAC shotgun is the best shotgun this season, but still, purple rarity this early on is going to feel good. Especially if you were accurate with it. And we saw Gavin hit some amazing shotgun shots last round in that 3rd place finish. So we expect that he's going to be pretty good. And still really just trying to maximize the loadouts right now. Let's take a quick peek on over to Cohen's and see what he's rocking with in this early game. And wow, Cohen is, I would say struggling to say the least loadout wise. He's got 2 gray weapons and some med kits, so Cohen definitely hoping to find some better loot. As we did see a couple shots on the visual audio, and actually we see a car. It's going to be interesting to decide if they take this engagement or not. As it looks like the car is pulling in. Gavin's going to fire some shots. Cohen lands 1 for 30. We don't know if any more shots were landed from Gavin, but going to maybe try and find a disable here as they do. Can they find the elim? He was in whites. Cohen unfortunately had to reload, and it looks like that player might just barely escape here. Although Gavin maybe going to find the chase here, unloading into another car. Maybe there was a car swap that we didn't get to see. And it looks like that duo and or player is gonna get out of the storm that was a coming. As Gavin here finds some more shots though. Oh my gosh, has to find a knock there. Has to be one bullet off. That's so unfortunate for Gavin. As we're going to continue to see a push here. Gavin does take a rogue bullet, but does apply some more pressure onto this other duo. And finds a knock on one. Can they find a knock on the second? As they know roughly where he's at. And they do, as Cohen is going to pick up the other kill. And corrupt Capybaras are starting this drop 2 off hot. But as soon as we say it, we might jinx them as they are already under fire from another team, have the potential to get third party here, need to back up, need to find some space as there's a legendary shotgun on the ground, but both of the corrupt Capybaras completely run right by it, and they're just going to use these shockwaves to gain some distance from that third party and hopefully give them some time to heal, shield, do whatever it is that they need to do. But need to be careful here because they just shockwaved into another team, and now they're going to have to take this fight. And then they do have quite an advantage, and they find the knock on one. And they find the knock on the second, as that is a... Oh, no, actually. I think it was just one. I don't know what happened. Not exactly sure what happened there. I'm not sure how they ended up with 3 kills there. Maybe one of their kills got stolen. Maybe one of the knocks that they had actually got stolen. And hard to say exactly. But what am I saying? It doesn't matter because corrupt Capybaras are already starting this drop 2 off with 3 eliminations. And this is a force to be reckoned with, as we expect that we're going to continuously see corrupt Capybaras run down this lobby. And to be honest, based off of what I've seen so far early in this drop 2, these guys, they don't want a third place. They want a victory royale. And I would anticipate that we're going to continue to see some aggressive, some hungry gameplay here from them. And it sounds like Division 1. Oh, so let's stay tuned here for another minute. Division 1 is currently dropping, but we could see the corrupt Capybaras maybe taking another engagement here. Maybe find a third party. As it looks like maybe they're going to pass. Although, it doesn't look like they have an option. They're going to try and get in the car here and drive away. Although they get stuck a little bit, the car taking a lot of unnecessary damage, and now they're driving right into the engagement. So many players around them. They're going to have to try and do something here. Car destroyed. Cohen knocked. And now Gavin has to try and make something happen out of nothing. And has no movement items. So he is not in an ideal situation here. But while Gavin tries to secure a reboot here, let's tune into the chefs early and see how they're doing in their drop. Alright, I want to make sure I get to watch these guys a little bit. As it looks like Zarek somehow knows that we tuned in, maybe heard the noise from Discord. He decides to take a little seat on the Simpsons couch for us. As it looks like there's some turmoil going on with Guff. As maybe those guys didn't figure it out. They are not very happy with how they just did. Can see the frustration in Lachlan, unfortunately. He's going to have to try and put that drop behind him and continue to lock in. I believe they still had a chance to qualify for playoffs, so I have to see how things end. But Guff eliminated for the night. And actually, as you're watching the chefs, your corrupt Capybaras are going to fall as well. Not good drops here for either of the teams that did well tonight. But let's see if the chefs can turn around. Just got the update. Corrupt Capybaras finished 13th, which still is not bad by any means, but a little lower than those guys are used to dropping. So gonna have to try and put that behind them. And I believe Corrupt Capybaras were almost a shoo-in for playoffs, so they still have the potential for quite a bit of Fortnite moving forward. Guff is much more up in the air, and the chefs ideally need to have a good drop, this drop, to secure their place into playoffs as well. As we watch Zarek farm some materials, let's tune into his teammate, good old Chef Jack. We see Jack doing very similar. Jack also finding some additional loot on top of it, which Jack's loadout maybe not ideal here. He's definitely going to want to find a better shotgun. A legendary machine SMG is massive. Jack finally finds a blue thunder shotgun. As it seems like very quickly, obviously I can't get a total perspective, but maybe a lot of our teams getting eliminated kind of early here in these drops. So let's hope the curse doesn't follow, as the chefs are in an engagement here, and Chef Jack already down to 30 health. Zarek on to 1, and unfortunately, ask and you shall receive. Maybe caster curse, maybe just poor performances tonight, as the chefs fall off and land 26th. And just not good drops all around. Definitely a bit of a struggle tonight, as there's no more games for us to watch, unfortunately. I don't believe all the teams that we were going to watch are already over, so a little heartbreaking in those terms, but that's okay, because we'll just get some interviews for you guys and talk to those players and see how they're doing. Let's see, maybe if we can't start with Team Guff. We'll see if we can get Lachlan up here. We know Lachlan's pretty much a shoo-in to come up into the booth in the hot seat, so let's see if he'll come up quick. And it looks like he is on his way up, as the GOAT himself, Lachlan, aka Shammy, makes his way into the booth. Lachlan, talk to me a little bit about how you're feeling after those 2 drops.
I'm feeling like it's alright, but we just definitely didn't play it.
Yeah, and we saw, and now let me go back a little bit. You guys have kind of struggled most of the season, but we saw, I want to say, a bit of an improvement in drop 1, finishing 19th. Now, I'm not saying that's great by any means, but I would say that that's better than we've seen from you guys in the past. But then drop number 2, I believe you got 26th or something, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
so
it's not good.
yeah, so talk to me a little bit about the difference between drop number 1 and the 19th and drop number 2.
So drop 1, we dropped where we normally drop, and like we just like made it off spawn, and then we just got killed. But the second drop, we dropped somewhere we normally don't, cause Logan didn't think it was a good idea to drop hot drop.
Mhm.
So we kind of just got like killed. And also Discord was glitching and I could not really hear him.
Okay, so it sounds like there was some comm issues,
Yeah.
maybe just some tech issues as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, tech issues don't help a high intensity game in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want things to be good to go. But I want to say that in that 19th, we saw you guys take some really good fights. I don't remember exactly how many kills you had, if any, but we saw you guys take some really good fights. Also, get out of some fights when you felt like the time was right. So, can you talk to me a little bit about how you guys are trying to figure out when to fight and when not to?
So my thought process, this is personally my thought process, is like, if they have the high ground, get out of there. If it's like an even fight, we can do that. So I don't know if you saw, but like they were like in between these buildings in the like boxes. We didn't drop down. We just kept high ground, but they rotated out, and we tried to follow them. And it was a solo, we thought, but I think we got shot from behind also, and that didn't help. And I like got like max pumps. Just
So,
yeah.
So maybe a little unlucky, again,
Yeah.
maybe some comm issues. And you guys, obviously, everyone's hoping to get into the playoffs, to make Florida realistically. Obviously, we know neither here nor there if either of those things will come true. But let's assume you guys do make playoffs here. What are you
Yeah.
guys going to try and fix? What are you guys going to try and change? So that way you can try and maximize some placement points in the playoffs to potentially increase your odds of Florida.
We just need to like hit our shots.
I mean that's simple enough.
Hit our shots and just like get better at fighting.
Yeah, I mean I think those are very tangible things that you can very well get done. So, well, Lachlan, I know you're maybe not the happiest you've been before, but don't beat yourself up too much. Still lots of Fortnite to go on, and we'll continue to be up here rooting for you. So thank you very much for your time.
Alright, thank you.
Of course. Alrighty. So, obviously, hearing quite a bit from Lachlan there. Definitely some things that they need to clean up, but it seems like for the most part, Lachlan has a good idea of what those things are, very tangible items. So we anticipate that they're going to try and work on those things throughout the week, and then hopefully we'll see them back next week, bigger and better than ever, as they will move up to our secondary spot. Now, I really want to talk to Corrupt Capybaras, either one of them. So we'll see if maybe we can get either Cohen or Gavin up here. I would love to talk to them about how their drop went, especially that drop number 1, as they finished, again, the 3rd place with, I don't even know how many kills, a bunch. As it looks like I'm at least going to get Gavin up here. And here he comes. Novel Movie, a.k.a. Gavin, makes his way into the booth. Gavin, how are you feeling after those 2 drops tonight?
The first one, good. And then the second one, it was like
Kind of meh.
weird.
Yeah, kind of meh. So, Gavin, I just have to say, late in that drop number 1, right? Late in that drop number 1, Cohen gets knocked, dies to Storm, and you have a 2v1 staring you down in your face. Can you talk to me a little bit about what was going through your mind in that moment?
Like, how do I get out of this situation? I don't have any supports. I mean, I just might as well just fight it off.
Yeah. And as it turned out, that seemed to be the right option because you got 2 kills and give you guys a little more points. And now I want to talk about you guys very consistent here, very consistently in the top 10, if not even in the top 5. But we saw drop 2, like you said, maybe a little weird. Can you talk to me about what you think went wrong in drop 2?
Not being able to drive. Like, we were just stuck in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little unfortunate. Some just bad positioning and everything that went on. But still 2 very good drops. Again, I think your drop 2 was 13, right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think 13. So not bad by any means. And we would anticipate here that you guys are going to make playoffs. And with that being said, assuming you guys do make playoffs, what are you guys going to try and clean up to work on as we are now done with the regular season and move into week 1 of playoffs next week?
camp more.
Yeah, camp more, play the game that you guys want to play, and kind of control the pace, right? Do the things that you guys need to do that have proven to work out for you and allows you to be successful. Well, Gavin, thank you so much for your time tonight. Congratulations on at least one phenomenal drop, and we'll continue to be up here and root for you. So thank you very much. All right. That was Gavin from the Corrupt Capybaras. Let's see if maybe we can get his teammate Cohen up here, and it looks like we are going to, as Cohen, aka Split Potato, is going to break my setup first and then makes his way into the booth. Cohen, welcome into the booth, and how are you feeling after those 2 drops tonight?
Pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you talk to me a little bit about what it means to have a teammate like Gavin on your team, where you saw him, especially in that drop 1 where you got eliminated via the storm, and Gavin was able to clutch out another 3 kills.
Yeah. It's pretty good because he can frag and make some pretty good calls. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a very valid point. And Cohen, I also want to talk a little bit about that drop number 2. I know we heard from Gavin. It was kind of weird, kind of put you guys in a rough situation you didn't want to be in. Can you talk to me a little bit about what happened from your perspective?
So, we hopped in a car and I didn't expect. I think he just switched seats, and then I didn't know I was driving, so I accidentally was driving and I just sat there. And then we tried to get out, and the car was already really damaged and it didn't even have a tire, so it was really difficult to drive. And then I think I had very little materials and ammo, so I couldn't do much. And then he survived for another placement or something. So yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally here, Cohen, I want to ask about you guys in very good placement here, have a very high odds of going to playoffs.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about the things you guys are hoping to clean up, hoping to work on moving forward into playoffs.
Getting more materials and probably more ammo and better loot on the way out, because that's how we messed up on game 2. Or didn't mess up, but ended on game 2. Yep.
Absolutely. Well, I think those are very tangible things going. I think knowing you guys will definitely work on those and make those adjustments necessary, and hopefully get back to the Mr. Consistency team. It's kind of what I like to call you. But thank you so much for your time up here. Congratulations on a huge drop tonight and a very solid second drop. But we'll continue to be up here rooting for you, and hopefully hopefully we will see you do well in playoffs.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And now Chef Jack's hovering around the booth. Maybe we can get Chef Jack on up here as well. Talk a little bit about how the chefs did tonight. Seemed like there was a little bit of a mystery hanging around them, and it looks like ask and you shall receive, as here he comes. Chef Jack, welcome into the booth.
Hey.
And honestly, I would love to say how you're feeling, but I think I kind of know. So can you just talk to me a little bit about what happened in those 2 drops tonight?
Honestly, the first game, we didn't get any guns off spawn, and we just got pushed off.
Mm-hmm.
That was unlucky. The second game, we thought we had it pretty good. We went around our loot station that we just found. No one was there, and then a team, as we were looting, came up and killed us, which turned out to be the team that killed us a lot, often. So I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna land what we did our last game, but instead of going up, we're just gonna hide in a bush and stay there and rotate in slowly for playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And now realistically, we don't know for sure, of course, but we have a very good feeling you guys are going to make playoffs. So can you talk to me a little bit about the changes other than your loot, positioning of what you're gonna try and do to try and maximize some playoff points here?
We're probably just gonna try playing low placement points, and then get some kills end game off third partying, and try to tap some people to kill people easier.
Yep.
To make it easier for other people, so we can rack up those placement points and hopefully get top. Hopefully win the banner. But
Absolutely. I mean, that's always the goal
Yeah.
at the end of the day. And Jack, I want to just talk a little bit about here. You guys have kind of suffered a little bit of a momentum drop. You guys started the season out really hot. I believe even actually in week 2 or 3, somewhere around there, got a victory royale, which was a massive way to kind of cement yourselves. But this week, the last week, we've kind of seen your guys' momentum drop a little bit. So is there any explanation you can give me? Any ideas, maybe new season adaptations that you guys just weren't ready for? Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
I think it's just the map changes, because like I said last time, our play styles just got completely changed. Even though we're good at this, like genuinely, it's just that we used to play like very like passively and fighting towards endgame, and that's how we did great at like last like season, not this. But
Last Fortnite season.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're just gonna try taking what we did last season and bringing it into this smaller map, and hopefully it works for us in playoffs.
Absolutely. Well, Chef Jack, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you coming up here. I know after a rough night, it can be kind of hard to get up here and talk about it, but want to, of course, encourage you. You know, we're always up here rooting for you guys, and even though that you didn't have a good night tonight, you know, try to put it behind you and move forward into playoffs, and hey, win that banner.
Yeah.
Win that banner. All right, Chef Jack,
thank
thank you
you.
so much. All right, and looks like we're going to have his duo partner, Zarek, come up as where. Zarek, a.k.a. Z-Fight, makes his way into the booth. One of the only students that's taller than I am. It's kind of a shock. Zarek, welcome to the booth. How are you feeling after tonight?
Not the greatest.
Yeah, you know,
Like
I
always.
think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
So, you know, we asked Tough Jack some hard questions, and then we're going to ask him some hard questions as well. You guys definitely not performing how we would typically expect you to perform the past couple weeks now, you know, last week and this week. Can you talk to me a little bit about what's going on, what problems are coming up, and what you guys are going to do to fix those things?
It's really just the smaller map, honestly. It's more aggressive. I heard Jack talk about how we usually play passive, and then closer to the end of the game, that's when we fight. And I don't know. Just from a competitive standpoint, I really dislike the season.
Yeah,
Like, it's a cool season, but in competitive.
And I wanna get in on that a little more. I want to talk a little bit more about that. Now it's only 2 weeks, and you know, playing on your home at your own time at home, I'm sure you're doing a bit, but you had about 2 weeks, especially since, you know, the competitive season has happened with this new season. Can you talk to me a little bit about how the changes have impacted you guys and how they make you play differently and why that hasn't worked out for you and Chef Jack?
Well, again, playing passive at the beginning, then being aggressive closer to the end. We have to be aggressive right at the start. Try to avoid as many teams as possible, which is hard. There's 80 players, 65% of the old map. I just really don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally here, I have 2 more questions. I want to ask about, now you and Chef Jack, we know you guys have a history of very solid players, very good fundamentally, both have very good aim, and in a season where you would think that those things maybe play into your advantage, it seems like maybe they're playing into your disadvantage a little bit because of that constant aggressiveness. So can you talk to me a little bit about just kind of the changes that constant aggressiveness is making you guys do?
Well, even Coach Kyle said it. At least to me, I'm sure Jack as well, are more of long range fighters, like shoot from far away, hit. But now that's close up, especially on keyboard and mouse, like I'm not the greatest with shotguns and stuff. So that's a disadvantage. And then no scopes.
Yes. We know all too well that you are a sniper from across the map. And finally here, I want to end it off with, you guys are still open, are shooting for playoffs. You know, realistically did very well in the early season, so hopefully you'll still be able to creep in there. Can you talk to me a little bit about kind of the things you're going to clean up for playoffs, knowing that it will be the smaller map and the more aggressive season?
Jack told me that we're just gonna be camping in bushes.
Hey, that's simple. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if camping in bushes works, then it works, and it'll help you guys get some points and get some victory royales maybe. So I think that's pretty far. Well, Zarek, thank you so much for your time up here. I know you didn't drop how you wanted to tonight, but don't beat yourself up too much. Hopefully come back next week and secure that banner for us. So
I will.
thank you very much. All right. And our last interview of the night, as you guys know, is always a special one, as good old Coach Kyle makes his way into the booth.
And as per the usual, I have to like
Lower
go
the
into
mic.
heavens to like lower this
Yes,
microphone.
because Zarek is so tall.
Zarek's like half a coach taller than me. What's up, man? How you doing?
Welcome to the booth, Coach Kyle.
Oh, thanks.
How are you feeling after Fortnite?
What a
tonight?
weird game.
Ab-
What a weird night.
absolutely.
What a weird map.
Absolutely.
What a weird season. That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah. What a season.
I think that's fair. I want to talk Crow Capybaras. Wow.
Yeah,
Third place.
fantastic.
With like 15 kills. I don't even
13
know.
kills in round 1, and I
13.
think 4 kills in round 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seems like the season's working out really great for them, even
Yes.
though this is a team that we see typically play slower. So
Yes.
talk to me a little bit about the adaptability of those guys.
Well, I mean, like I said, this is a season that I think favors certain types of players. And like, if you're Gavin and what you like to do is frag out, then welcome to the Simpsons map. This is the map that like everything is designed to make sure that you can frag out. There is a massive lack of cover. There's a lack of healing items. There's bad rotation, which means that if you're Gavin and you have laser vision, you're gonna be having a great time. I think that's part of it too. I also think it's a confidence thing. For both of them, I
would
think
agree.
as the longer this season has progressed, I think what you're watching is the two of them get more comfortable with one
Yes.
another. I wanted to like shed tears because I was so proud, because at one point Gavin goes, "Oh wait, we should rotate." Wait, all of our weapons reloaded. I'm like, yes, thank you. Take the 5 seconds to have that communication. Let's go. And they're like, oh yeah, no, they're not. I'm like, okay, now we can go. And like, lo and behold, they stumble right into a fight. I'm like, thank you for loading the guns. Thank you. So some of it's some of it's confidence. I think some of it, like whether it's the reload thing or, you know, taking some time, taking stock of your surroundings before you make a full rotation. It's the little stuff. It's the fundamentals that we keep preaching over and over and over again. But like now, rather than me having to be in comms and be like, guys, have you checked your weapons today? Like, I feel like a broken record. But they're like, hey, partner, have you checked your weapons?
Yes,
And I'm sitting there in the back, just like, I'm going to cry. So that's awesome. Like that little stuff is great. So, you know, the confidence is starting to pick up. The fundamentals are starting to pick up for them. I think part of it is the map. I think part of it is that, like, you know, not just their confidence in their own abilities, but their confidence in the person they're playing besides. That's a huge deal. Like, this is a relatively new partnership, all things considered. And so, right, like we had, you know, Cohen and Matthew played together for 2 seasons, right? There was rapport there. There was confidence in one another's abilities. There was understanding that they can count on certain things. And that takes time, right?
Yes.
And now we're starting to see it, which is great because it's just in time for the playoffs.
Yep.
So,
And well, Coach Kyle, you know how I like to do. I like to typically ask one question for every team. So that's what we're going to do. Team Guff. Seems like maybe they made a little bit of a breakthrough tonight with drop 1 and then maybe struggled with drop 2.
Listen, at this point, it's so God love the season, but like I feel like this happens every year where like we're approaching playoffs and then the season shifts and the map is different.
Yes.
So I do think they found a little bit of their stride, which was awesome. You know, we're playing a little bit more, I don't want to say aggressively, but I think assertively is probably a pretty safe way to describe it. And I think part of that, again, is the map. I think part of it's the equipment, weapons that are in the map. I think that lends to that sort of assertive play style. And with Guff too, with a lot of our teams, actually, frankly, it's when they get into a good rhythm, suddenly they feel unstoppable, right? And I'm sure you've experienced this as a Rocket League coach where like you enter the flow state and you're just like, it's like your avatar Aang. You're like, I am beyond senses. I am capable of far greater things now. And so I think part of it is that. And then, you know, obviously, yeah, there's a dip in performance in the second drop, but I think that comes with being out of that flow state, right? Like you're not as locked in, you're not as dialed in, you're not as ready, you've had a chance to go back to lobby, you know, oh, we've got to wait for coach to give us the drop codes. You know, I'll look at the battle pass and now I'll customize my in-game dog. So I think part of it is that too. But I just want to say everybody here has been doing as good a job, I think, as they can do.
Absolutely.
Playing against this new map.
Absolutely.
This new map is insane. I've never seen anything like this. Like as a game designer, as a coach, as a player, I'm like, this whole map is literally just one big murder funnel. It's bizarre to witness. So I think everyone is doing an incredible job at adapting their play styles and what we usually do, like what our usual game plan is for this map, because this is very atypical for a Valhallan season.
Well,
so
and I love that you bring that up because that kind of leads directly into my question about the chefs. Is we've seen them kind of drop off of momentum with the map change and with their play style of being changed. So obviously talking to them a little bit about it, but from the coach's perspective, what are you hoping to see that they adapt to kind of get back into that beginning season momentum?
So it's really tough. And I'm going to be honest, and that's part of the reason I wanted to give the kudos where I gave the kudos to everybody, because it's tough to adapt the best part of your game to the best part of somebody else's game, right? Like if I'm, you know, the best 100-meter dash person in the whole world, and then all of a sudden I have to run the mile against people who run the mile competitively, it's going to be really different, right? Jack and Zarek are mile runners. Truthfully, they're the 400-meter dash runners. We like a good mid-range fight. We like to use positioning and our incredible aim. We're going to weaken you and soften you from a distance, and then all of a sudden we're going to be on top of you with the aggressive movement, and then that's how we're going to take the fight, right? This one, there's no opportunity for that. That whole first part that I just described of using our aim, using that mid-range stuff to soften up a target first, using dynamic movement. We can't do any of that this season, right? So it's not just that they've lost the map. It's that they've lost critical parts of their entire strategy because of the way that the map is structured, and they're forced to adapt to it. Now, what I would like to see from them in terms of that question, we go over weapons and equipment pretty much every practice. We talk about like good map placement, what good rotation looks like. I'd love to just see both of them just say, you know what, if there's no long range capabilities at all, we're not going to carry any long range weapon. Like, I'll be honest, if Jack goes, hey coach, I want to carry 3 submachine guns, great, love it, cool. Zarek, you're carrying submachine gun bullets and you're just giving them to Jack. If Zarek goes, coach, I'm carrying 2 shotguns and the Mr. Blasty, like great, I love it. That's perfect. Go. Like, at that point, go. Like, it's a weird place to be in as a coach, because clearly things are working and clearly things aren't working. And because things aren't working, now the weird part is we get to try new off the wall stuff, right? So it's kind of an exciting challenge of like, cool, what we have tried in the past that has historically worked for us might not necessarily work well because of the season, because of the map, because of the competition. So now it's like, cool, we can start throwing off the wall stuff and seeing what sticks. Like, I literally am probably just gonna walk in and be like, Jack, cool, you get 3 Mr. Blasties. Have fun.
I think that's fair.
Like, great, love it. I don't want to see you 100 meters away from anybody. You and Zarek are up close in everybody's grills. You're spraying everything down and then just hot swapping weapons the whole time. And we'll see what sticks, right? Like, I think part of that is because they've been robbed of that axis of their game. We have to kind of adapt and try some new stuff. So that's kind of the cool challenge. It's, it stinks that it's happening when they're so used to doing well. And like, I know Jack and I know Zarek, and I'm sure in the conversations you had with them, they're like, they
were not pleased.
No, I can guarantee. I literally saw Zarek's face, and I know Zarek probably was up here like, yep, we could have done this better. And we will do this better next time. And it's the most diplomatic way of saying, I'm not thrilled. But again, I think they're doing all the stuff that they can. And the cool challenge is now for me and them, it's like, how do we adapt what we're doing and change it up? So
absolutely. Well, Coach Kyle, thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure having you up in the booth and getting to chat to you a little bit.
Dude.
And of course, we'll see you back up here next Monday where we'll officially be in playoffs.
Let's go. Goodbye, everybody.
All right. That is going to do it for us here at Valhallan Camp Hill. Thank you guys so much for watching, tuning in, for chatting, for whatever it is that you do and ways that you support us here. From myself, Coach Christian, and everybody here at Valhallan Camp Hill, thank you guys so much, and good night, everybody.